Over the course of his remarkable career that lasted more than 40 years, Edgar Cayce provided thousands of readings concerning the afterlife experience. His insights into the initial moments following death were so surprising that they challenged traditional views on the transition process and became some of the most scrutinized content in the AR archives. From 1901 until his passing in 1945, Edgar Cayce carried out over 14,000 documented psychic readings while in a self-induced trance. A significant number of these readings directly addressed inquiries about death, the afterlife, and the fate of consciousness once we depart from our physical forms. The information that emerged from these sessions painted a consistent and comprehensive picture of the death experience, which contrasts sharply with prevalent religious and cultural perspectives. Before delving into the 5 most notable phenomena that Cayce frequently discussed in hundreds of readings regarding the death experience, be sure to subscribe and activate the notification bell. These revelations are sourced directly from Cayce's authenticated readings, which have been meticulously examined by researchers at the Association for Research and Enlightenment for over 80 years. The standout feature of Cayce's insights into death is their unwavering consistency. Whether he was conducting readings in his early days in Hopkinsville, Kentucky, or later in Virginia Beach, the same themes and descriptions surfaced whenever clients inquired about their deceased loved ones or the essence of the death experience itself. Drawing from Cayce's comprehensive documentation of the death process through his psychic readings, here are the 5 most frequently reported experiences that typically occur right after a physical death. The first phenomenon recorded is what Cayce referred to as consciousness adjustment. Based on his interpretations, those who have recently passed do not immediately grasp their transformed reality. Cayce repeatedly illustrated this concept in various sessions as a slow realization of the new realm of existence. In his discussions regarding the process of death, Cayce clarified that consciousness does not sharply detach from physical perception. Rather, there exists a transitional phase during which the person slowly becomes cognizant of their new existence. This idea is recorded throughout his commentary on death and the dying process, where he highlighted that the soul retains a continuous stream of consciousness but needs to adapt to functioning without a physical body. What is especially intriguing about Cayce's portrayal of this transitional phase is how it differs depending on an individual's spiritual readiness and comprehension during their earthly existence. In his sessions, he repeatedly noted that those who cultivated spiritual insight and grasped the essence of the soul's journey tended to adapt to their new circumstances more swiftly and effortlessly. Cayce's insights showed that during this transitional phase, the departed often seek to engage in familiar routines or make attempts to reach out to those they left behind, still struggling to fully comprehend the transformation they have undergone. This interpretation consistently appears throughout his documented encounters related to afterlife interactions. Known as the sleeping prophet, Cayce illustrated that some souls linger in this adjustment period for significant durations, especially if their passing was abrupt or if they clung to strong materialistic views in life. Individuals who had developed spiritual awareness and embraced the notion of life beyond death generally progressed through this stage more swiftly. However, it is here that Cayce's revelations become particularly intriguing, leading us to the second phenomenon he consistently observed over numerous readings throughout his extensive career. In Cayce's interpretations, the etheric body, which he referred to as the soul body, holds on to sensory experiences for some time following death. This idea is prevalent in his philosophical discussions and in his descriptions of the soul's structure, serving as a fundamental principle of his metaphysical framework. Cayce asserted that humans are composed of several bodies, the physical, the mental, and the spiritual. The etheric, or soul body, acts as a connecting layer between the material and spiritual realms. His readings suggest that this etheric body can temporarily hold onto memories of physical sensations after death, facilitating a transitional experience that allows the soul to adjust to its new form of existence. This concept is evident in many readings, where Cayce elaborated on the nature of the soul and the process of both incarnation and reincarnation. He repeatedly clarified that the soul does not instantly sever all ties to its physical experiences upon death. Instead, it gradually moves through various levels of awareness and embodiment. This perspective sheds light on why Cayce's readings often portrayed recently departed souls as occasionally experiencing confusion regarding their physical condition. Individuals may encounter sensations that feel tangible, yet are actually memories of the ether, slowly diminishing as the soul acclimates to its new mode of existence. The depth of this teaching lies in its elucidation of the gradual process of transitioning through death. Instead of an immediate jump from a physical to a spiritual state, Cayce's readings illustrate a gradual evolution where consciousness transitions from one state to another, with the etheric body acting as an intermediary during this vital shift. Additionally, Cayce's insights suggest that the length of this etheric experience can differ significantly from person to person. Elements such as spiritual growth, the nature of the individual's passing, their ties to physical existence, and their comprehension of spiritual concepts all play a role in determining how long the soul endures these etheric sensations after departing from the physical form. The third phenomenon documented in Cayce's readings pertains to heightened awareness in the afterlife, and it stands out as one of his most frequently mentioned insights about consciousness after death. Throughout his readings, Cayce consistently illustrated how consciousness, once liberated from the constraints of the physical body, achieves a broader understanding. His documented teachings suggest that the soul can access thoughts, feelings, and spiritual states that were not perceivable during earthly existence. This is not characterized as a supernatural skill, but rather as the inherent state of awareness when not restricted by physical sensory capacities. Enhanced perception is a recurring theme in Cayce's discussions on the subject. He asserted that what we refer to as intuition or psychic ability in life becomes the standard way of perceiving in the afterlife. The soul possesses the ability to discern the emotional and spiritual conditions of others, encompassing both the living and other spirits in the afterlife realm. In several of her readings, Cayce illustrated how those who have passed can be aware of the sorrow, love, anger, or spiritual state of their living relatives and friends. This heightened awareness goes beyond mere emotional perception and includes what Cayce referred to as soul recognition, which is the capacity to understand the true spiritual essence and level of development of other souls. Her readings highlighted that this advanced awareness is not instinctive. Rather, it unfolds as the soul acclimates to its new existence. Some souls quickly adapt to these elevated perceptual skills, whereas others take additional time to comprehend and make use of their broadened consciousness. The rate at which this adaptation occurs is often linked to a person's spiritual growth and psychic awareness throughout their earthly existence. An intriguing aspect of Cayce's teachings is his explanation of how this heightened perception influences the soul's comprehension of its recent physical life. As awareness broadens, individuals gain the capability to recognize the spiritual importance of experiences, relationships, and decisions that might have been overlooked while living. This enhances the understanding of life lessons, karmic ties, and chances for spiritual growth that were present but possibly unacknowledged during their lifetime. Cayce consistently emphasized that this heightened awareness is crucial for the soul's ongoing education and evolution in the realms beyond physical existence. However, there's an even deeper insight derived from Cayce's recorded readings on the immediate afterlife experience. In just 4 minutes, I will unveil the fourth phenomenon that Cayce repeatedly observed in numerous readings, which sheds light on why spiritual growth persists beyond physical death and questions common beliefs about the afterlife. This fourth phenomenon highlights the ongoing existence of personality and mental patterns after death, fundamentally changing our comprehension of consciousness's survival. Cayce's insights underscored that death does not automatically alter consciousness or erase personal traits. His teachings indicate that souls maintain their unique personalities, encompassing both their positive qualities and the aspects that require spiritual growth. This concept is evident in countless readings he delivered and serves as a core element of his teachings on soul evolution and reincarnation. This idea of personal continuity clarifies how Cayce frequently recognized particular deceased individuals during his sessions, detailing their unique thought processes, emotions, and modes of self-expression. While the essence of their personality persists, they adjust to their new existence. What renders this teaching especially significant is that Cayce consistently emphasized that the continuation of personality encompasses both the favorable and the difficult facets of a person's character. Fears, biases, emotional attachments, and unresolved issues do not simply vanish upon death. Rather, the soul persists in addressing these developmental aspects in the realm beyond. This idea is consistently reflected in Cayce's teachings on reincarnation and the evolution of the soul. He asserted that consciousness continues its growth even after physical death, carrying with it the mental and spiritual patterns formed during earthly existence. Learning and personal development proceed in the afterlife, much like they do during physical life, though often with enhanced clarity and comprehension due to the heightened awareness present in spiritual realms. Throughout his readings, Cayce repeatedly illustrated how souls strive to transcend limitations and evolve spiritually in the afterlife. This procedure equips souls for their subsequent incarnations or ongoing spiritual growth, tailored to the unique path and development stage of each individual. The afterlife transforms into a learning environment, focusing on continuous education rather than a mere reward or punishment system. What is especially intriguing is Cayce's account of the educational prospects in the various dimensions of the afterlife. Souls have the chance to learn from enlightened spiritual guides, address psychological and emotional healing, enhance their compassion and understanding, and get ready for future opportunities to serve, whether in the spiritual realms or through rebirth. This perspective clarifies why Cayce highlighted the significance of spiritual growth during one's physical existence, as consciousness retains these patterns and carries them into the afterlife. The spiritual work we engage in during our earthly existence lays the groundwork for ongoing development and service in the realms beyond. Cayce also indicated that souls in the afterlife have the ability to influence and support those who are still embodied, particularly their family members and loved ones. Nonetheless, such support proves most effective when it is in harmony with spiritual principles and aligns with the recipient's spiritual growth and free will decisions. One of the most remarkable aspects that Cayce chronicled regarding the immediate afterlife experience has shaped the understanding of spiritual seekers and researchers for many years. The fifth and most crucial aspect he consistently outlined is the life review process, and his depiction of this experience offers unmatched insights into how consciousness assesses and learns from its physical existence. Based on Cayce's insights, souls undergo a thorough examination of their recently lived life shortly after passing away. This experience is not characterized as punishment or judgment. Rather, it is viewed as a natural process of spiritual assessment and learning, which contributes to the ongoing development and evolution of the souls. The emphasis in Cayce's teachings on this matter underscores that the life review is focused on educational growth rather than retribution. During this reflection, souls consider their decisions, relationships, and spiritual progress from their completed incarnation, utilizing the heightened awareness available in the afterlife. This reflection aids them in comprehending the lessons they have learned and identifying areas that still need growth. The readings depict the life review as taking place from a wider perspective of the soul, allowing individuals to recognize the full consequences of their actions and choices on both themselves and others. This deeper awareness encompasses the recognition of the spiritual importance of experiences that might have gone unnoticed during physical existence, insights into karmic ties and soul connections, as well as awareness of neglected chances for spiritual development and service. What renders Cayce's description particularly striking is his assertion that the life review is experienced with total objectivity and honesty. The soul cannot mislead itself or find excuses for the spiritual truths of its actions and decisions. Nonetheless, this review unfolds within a context of love and compassion, rather than judgment. Cayce explained that the process of reviewing one's life is steered by what he referred to as the Christ consciousness, a divine principle that aids souls in comprehending their experiences from a spiritual viewpoint. This process is characterized as nurturing and instructive, rather than critical or punitive, emphasizing learning and personal growth over punishment. The readings suggest that during this review, souls frequently feel profound gratitude for the chances they had to assist others and develop spiritually, along with authentic regret for opportunities they missed or actions that inflicted harm. This emotional aspect of the life review enhances the soul's compassion and insight. In accordance with Cayce's recorded teachings, this life review lays the groundwork for the soul's ongoing evolution, either through further spiritual progress in the afterlife realms or by getting ready for future incarnations. The understanding acquired throughout this experience affects the decisions the soul makes regarding ongoing service and growth. Additionally, Cayce emphasized that the life review process aids souls in comprehending their relationships with others, be it fellow souls, family, friends, mentors, or even opponents, from a spiritual viewpoint. Connections that appeared challenging or perplexing during their earthly existence often disclose their spiritual purpose and meaning during this review. The length and depth of the life review differ based on the individual soul's progression and the intricacy of their latest incarnation. Some souls may finish this reflective process rather swiftly, whereas others might engage in this insightful and learning stage of their afterlife for an extended period. The 5 phenomena identified by Edgar Cayce, consciousness adjustment, transitions of the etheric body, heightened perception, the continuity of personality, and life review, stand out as the most consistently referenced elements of the immediate afterlife experience. These observations are drawn from Cayce's extensive body of verified readings conducted over more than 40 years of psychic research. The significance of these teachings lies in their consistency, as they appear repeatedly across hundreds of Cayce's documented sessions conducted over several decades. Rather than being isolated revelations, these concepts re-emerged whenever questions about death and the afterlife were posed, whether they came from grieving family members wishing to connect with the deceased, or from individuals seeking to grasp the essence of consciousness and its survival after death. The Association for Research and Enlightenment in Virginia Beach, established during Cayce's life, continues to explore these readings today, analyzing how Cayce's insights align with contemporary research on near-death experiences and consciousness studies. Numerous modern researchers observe striking parallels between Cayce's documented teachings and ongoing scientific inquiries into the survival of consciousness. Dr. Raymond Moody, who coined the phrase near-death experience, has observed notable similarities between contemporary accounts of NDEs and the descriptions of the afterlife by Cayce. In a similar vein, researchers investigating consciousness at various universities across the globe are discovering that Cayce's insights regarding the multidimensional aspects of human consciousness resonate with advanced theories in both quantum physics and consciousness studies. What distinguishes Cayce's insights from mere philosophical or religious musings about the afterlife is their practical, detailed character and the consistency found across thousands of documented readings. Instead of offering vague notions about heaven or spiritual dimensions, Cayce presented specific, reliable accounts of the processes and experiences that consciousness goes through when transitioning from physical to spiritual existence. Most importantly, Cayce's teachings on the afterlife not only elucidated this experience, but also deepened our understanding of life itself. His unwavering message was that grasping the essence of consciousness and its persistence beyond death should motivate us to lead lives that are more spiritually aware and service-focused during our time on Earth. Cayce emphasized that death is not a conclusion, but rather a transformation. It is not a judgment, but a chance for ongoing learning and personal growth. This viewpoint reshapes our understanding of both life and death, fostering spiritual advancement, empathy for others, and an acknowledgement of the timeless nature of consciousness. His insights consistently highlighted that the quality of our experiences in the afterlife is closely tied to the spiritual progress we made while alive. This notion is not about earning entry into heaven, but instead about preparing consciousness for the broader awareness and possibilities present in the spiritual realms. If the insights derived from Edgar Cayce's validated readings have deepened your grasp of consciousness and the experience of life beyond, we encourage you to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and share it with those who are keen on spiritual growth. We invite you to leave a comment reflecting on how these teachings could impact your own spiritual path and readiness for the ultimate transition we all encounter. It's important to remember that Cayce consistently highlighted that comprehending these spiritual truths can enrich our current lives and foster spiritual development. His teachings repeatedly emphasized that engaging in spiritual preparation during our physical existence lays the best groundwork for the afterlife and ongoing soul evolution. The aim isn't to flee from physical life, but to fully embrace every chance for spiritual growth and service while we enjoy the privilege of being embodied.